Incoming transmission.
Good morning guys, and welcome to another Warhammer Round Up. As I'm sure a lot of you are aware, this week has been just a little bit exciting on the Warhammer 40k front, which is what this will be predominantly talking about, in a total flip from last week where I didn't have like a lot to talk about. There's possibly too much this week, so it might be a bit brief, but there are gonna be just so many things coming out over the next few weeks that I'm pretty sure we can cover it all. Alright, so just you gotta bear with me. Bear with me, guys. First up, I suppose, should be the news that a new edition of 40k is coming to us. Yay! Woo! I'm so excited. I mean, the hints have been there. At the beginning of the year, when they did their like New Year's announcement thing, they did say that this is going to be the biggest year because it's the big anniversary year that they've done in a while. And we all they gave us all the information about Gathering Storm and Primarchs coming out from their slumber and things like that. And we were all kind of like, oh, okay, this is cool. Some people were a bit like, oh, we've seen this before. But for the majority, we're just like, oh, okay, this is awesome. And we kind of, or at least I assumed, they were just going to try and pull that one event over the year. And then you started noticing, like, but they're bringing out things so quickly. Like, you're getting all these new books out, you're getting all these new figures out, they're not spreading them out, they're coming out, like, week by week. And it's just like, they can't make this stretch. And there's a reason. They never intended to. So, yeah. We're going to talk about what changes we've been given so far to 40k, because we will be getting the 8th edition. So, like I've said, we have been kind of suspecting 8th edition would arrive, because so many things have been happening. So you've had, like I said, you've had Primarchs waking from 10,000-year-old slumbers. We've had fucking Demon Primarchs return. The whole events of the Gathering Storm with the fall of Cadia. Oh my god. And you just felt like something was going to happen towards the end of all that. And it is. So there's going to be like a total revamp of what's happening with the rule systems. We got a little bit of an inkling with this. You started to see like different groupings and stuff, and the codexes were starting to come out, and play styles. From the looks of it, it's gonna go the way they revamped with Warhammer and Age of Sigmar. So I'm not complaining. I like how Age of Sigmar plays. Personally, I'm more than happy to get on board with some new rules, learn some new things. They have said, because people have been concerned that they're dumbing the rules down, they have said they've made the rules with two things in mind. They wanted to make it accessible and easy for new players to learn, because let's face it, Warhammer can be a little bit daunting if you're a bit of a newbie. But they still wanted it that you could still have the complexity of the games that you can have now. So they have kept that in mind. If you want those super complex, high point turnover games, like, you can still do that with the new rules, apparently. We haven't been told when the 8th edition is coming out. Presumably sometime soon. They aren't going to drag this out. They don't tend to drag anything out, it would seem. There is a all-new website. Yes, I know. All-new website that they've created for it, which is warhammer40000.com. I will link it below so you can go have a sneaky poos. So yeah, let's get into some of the actual what we might be getting. So the first thing that like caught mine and Wraithpool's attention was the new maps that's been released. As always, the galaxy maps in 40k look hella pretty. I'm talking like, oh, so pretty, I want it on my wall. And this is no exception. It's showing lots of very interesting details. I will link it below, as always. It's the same galaxy, but it's gone a bit haywire. So we've got new warp storms appearing, and kind of Cadia doesn't look to be in the best place right now, as you may have guessed. So Terra still sits firmly in the heart of the beautiful Segmentum Solar, and yeah, no, you've got loads of different things, loads of little rifts and warp storms appearing. It's looking a bit messy. It kind of looks like someone's had a nosebleed over the picture of a beautiful map, and it's made it, ooh, interesting. The next thing that they gave us was there was a trailer. I saw the trailer after I saw the warp storm map. So, you know, the trailer may have come out first. But yeah, so it's a trailer, and like I said, it is celebrating the 30th anniversary of Warhammer. So you've got lots of little snippets from various things. As always, beautifully voice acted. Oh my god, if you haven't ever listened to any of the 40k audiobooks, or even like the Warhammer audiobooks, go listen to them, because their choice in voice actors to narrate it or to act it for their audio dramas, spot on. Always enthralling. I love them. So yes, there's a trailer, and that looks interesting. A little bit like, oh shit, what's happening? But all good. And on top of that, we have been given some unit profiles. So, on the unit profiles, there is going to be a difference in playstyle. Now, bear with me, there's a bit of information to go through. So, Warhammer has had the same kind of playstyle for roughly a decade. Maybe more? I think maybe more, actually. And Games Workshop has acknowledged there was always like a few like anomalies or things that didn't quite work out how they were planning and things like that. So they've looked at those and changed a few things up for the new edition. First thing they have done is they've added new profiles in to better distinguish between different units. So for example, if a unit runs faster than another unit, like that is more clearly distinguished in the rule set. So you know, that's helpful. A huge change is with vehicles. So a lot of people had issues with vehicles in the current playstyle. Personally, I didn't mind it. That's just me. But I am looking forward to these changes. They look really... So they now use the same profile system as everything else. Vehicles don't have their own profile and play system. So it means that their wounds are no longer capped. They're not capped at 10. So you're going to see the bigger vehicles just riddled with fucking bolter holes. Riddled with them. Which is awesome. It's good that you're not just going, okay, down to... I've got 9 wounds, I can take 1 more. Because it's like, it's a freaking tank. Come on. Like, 10 bullet holes isn't going to stop a tank. So yes, you will be seeing Land Raiders and everything like that, large, big, hefty vehicles, be able to take a substantial amount of wounds. This also means there's no difference between monsters and vehicles. It's the same system. So, this isn't such a bad thing either. I'm liking this. The fact that basically it's big, it's level pegging. I don't care if you're flesh or you're metal. You know, you're big. You're able to take more damage. So, yeah, they've evened it out that large vehicles and monster type things, same levels, same playstyle, no difference. Again, that's brilliant. With this, because they can all take a lot more wounds, there is also now no super heavy vehicle rules. So because the stats of everything else now goes above 10, there's no need for it. I'm assuming that's the logic they're going for. Which means that certain things that may have been kind of nerfed are now kind of throwing their weight behind their punches where they should be. Again, it makes things a bit more survivable, it evens the playing ground, which isn't, you know, I'm not going to complain. Apparently over the next week we will be getting new stat lines and information regarding weaponry, so that will definitely be in next week's 40k and Warhammer Round Up. It's just it hasn't come out yet, so I can't cover it, but I am looking forward to seeing what kind of these new rules may do with regards to bolter fire or power swords and things like that. So it will be interesting. So if the announcement of 8th edition has caught you by surprise, and in the last couple of months you have bought all new codexes and you're thinking, well shit, what am I going to do now? And if you were clever enough, unlike me, with my gene stealers, to keep the receipt, then you don't need to worry. What Games Workshop have announced is that if you bought any new Codex books between the 25th of February and the 22nd of April, which is when this was all announced, that as long as you have proof of purchase, you can contact their customer service department and they will send you a voucher for how much the book cost. Which is awesome. It means that you're not losing out. I mean, most of you probably will still be playing by the last edition rules for a while anyway, because you've got the book, it's a playstyle you know, and it takes time to learn a new style. It takes time to learn a new rule set, especially if it's going to be as big as the 40k one. So just think that you just got a free book and more money for paint, guys. So yeah, clever enough to keep the receipt and bought it in the last 2 months, you can get a refund in vouchers. I will include the link below so you can get the exact email that you need to get this voucher system thing going. But yeah, bonus all round. Whoop. Off the Warhammer 40k 8th edition news for a second, there has been another trailer for Dawn of War 3. It's called the Fragments of War trailer. It looks, you know, interesting. I've kind of, after playing the beta, I've lost my Dawn of War 3 hype. Personally, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't feel it was up to the standard that I thought it, like, should be for being the third game in a franchise and having the amount of backing that it did. Me saying like, oh, the voice acting that Games Workshop and their audiobooks produce is fantastic. That isn't so much seen with this game, in my opinion. And yeah, the game just didn't feel like, and I get it's beta, I know people are going to be like, oh my god, but it's beta, you can't judge it. But yeah, it also comes out in like, what, 2 days? No, it also comes out like yesterday by the time this airs, because this airs in 2 days. So, like, so the open beta should have been a pretty solid model of how it's going to be for multiplayer. It just doesn't feel like it's worth the 40 quid that they're wanting for it. Just my personal opinion. I mean, the story mode might be totally different from multiplayer, but I just didn't enjoy it, which really annoyed me because I really wanted to justifiably drop £100 to get that goddamn hammer replica that's in the collector's edition. Oh, hot damn, I wanted that hammer. So yeah, by the time this is out, Dawn of War 3 will be out, and if you are in, like, if you played the beta and you love the game, I hope you continue to enjoy it and that you are happy dropping 40 quid. But there is a new trailer if you want to see it. So there we have it. Hopefully I didn't kind of throw too much at you. I did try and keep it condensed and a bit small because this is definitely something that we can just spread out because we're going to be getting announcements for a while, yeah, I think. But yeah, thank you for joining me. As always, I hope you have an awesome day. Purge the unclean. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Sister in Training TikTok here, over and out.